And good evening, everybody. It's a beautiful evening, a little hot, but it's a good time
Real
to come
hot
in,
here.
listen to a little, really hot. Listen to a little GAT701 in the air conditioning tonight, I think.
Yeah, my room down here is really cool, real nice and cool, Clay. That's one good thing about having it down in the basement. Of course, in the winter it's cold, and then I gotta have the little space
heater.
on here.
I got one of them too. Yeah, down here in the bunker. I don't have a bunker like Leon, but it's pretty good.
Right.
Wow, 47 people on already. Good evening, everybody. Glad to have you on. This is awesome, right? Twitter's leading the march too. Hey, Rumble listeners, thanks for tuning in over on Rumble. And we still have our Rumble channels. We appreciate everybody over on there too. But Twitter seems to be the winner out of all of them, and I can't disagree. Seems like that's where we have the most freedom, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Eric Newman says, "Evening from the southern border jumper." I love it. Hey, Dan.
Throw you in that Indiana Raceway pen there, or whatever.
There you go. Yeah, let's see. We got the Indiana one, and then Alligator Alcatraz. I heard another one, something about it's in Nebraska. Called it something Cornhusker.
Well, Trent, you keep running your mouth about MAGA. Trump's going to toss you in there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Take
exactly.
The right off for you.
Hang his hat on his bars or something. I don't know. I shouldn't be. I like Trent. Still getting along with Trent, but he's got.
I heard him the other night. There, his my like went way down on the way.
His really TDS is pretty
Trump,
hard.
So, I can't. I'm not gonna lie to you. When he's on anymore, I can't listen to KFYR. So, and I'm more than happy to say it.
He just. I don't know what his issue is.
Heavy TDS there.
We've been over this, and we had two choices: President Trump or Kamala. It was pretty easy choice for me. So
easy.
Hey, Waylon, good evening. Trampus, good evening. Hey, Trampus, I guess you saw the messages I sent to you. We got our flyers done for our Farm Bureau meeting coming up, and big mounted shooting competitions, just all kinds of stuff going on. So
did you snipe that one already there on Kick?
I did.
Oh, okay, man, you're quick on that. You're quick on the draw there, Clay.
Waylon, good evening. And we still have, and I've been calling them freedom receipts on the freedom rods because, they'll nix us if we say the wrong thing. So, and you're going to definitely, we did really well last weekend up at the Grant County Fair on that. I mean, I moved a bunch of books. I'll just put it that way. It wasn't singles. It was a lot of books. So thanks to everybody participating. I'm going to throw this out here quickly. We have the gun show coming up September 13th through the 14th at the Share How Event Center in Mobridge, 212 North Main Street. And they got over 100 tables in there. Just talked with Gene a little bit there, just texting what he was, if he wanted a banner, he's going to get a Guns in the 701 banner up there. He will have some of those freedom paper receipts for you on those rods that we're doing with the North Dakota Farm Bureau.
was game and fishing on, Clay.
Yeah, you bet. If you and I were with them, it'd be in a lot better shape. But, $10 to get into the gun show. You'd get a chance to win a Henry lever action rifle. For more information, you can contact Gene Cox at 605-848-2427. Again, 605-848-2427. And I know that Heather does not have our site done yet, and things are looking pretty good, it looks like.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be able to launch that there the 1st of September, or that first week. But I think I'm going to hop on there and put Gene's gun show flyer up there. That way people want to take a look at it, download it, whatever, they can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that thing getting upgraded, because it's pretty busy and cluttered on there.
It is, and I just, some of the things she has sent and asked, I didn't like the little logo thing, and then you and I visited, and I said, yep, change that or do that. It's been good. Although I gotta say, I like this one that you came up with.
Yeah, I do. A couple of them turned out pretty good there with
with
messing around with the Grok AI. So,
and like I said, here we go. This is our North Dakota Farm Bureau annual meeting for Grant Sioux County, and it does kick off September 13th, 3:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time at the fairgrounds. The Grant County Fair buildings where the meal and the meeting will take place. D&T Catering are doing pulled pork, guys, and it's free to everybody. Nice. Really cool thing, though, is the cowboy mounted shooting jackpot. 3 stages of pistol, shotgun, and rifle. I think Wayne Muth is going to try to come down.
Yeah.
We're also going to have axe throwing down there. I found a guy to do it. So we're going to have axe throwing. We're going to have just a fun day that starts at 3:30 in the afternoon in the little bitty town of Carson, North Dakota, which is the county seat, by the way, for Grant County.
I hope they're strong. Axe goes about 200 pounds, I think. So
there we go. There we go. Hey, David. All right. So why don't you tell everybody what we got kind of for tonight?
Top days to deer hunt in 2025. We're going to start it off with that, Clayton. I got a good article out of Real Tree. Thought it was pretty interesting. Clay's got the best 12 gauge dove hunting loads, because since dove season starts, when do we look it up, Clay?
August. September 1st.
Right there. Day after bow season. And Lefty activist, Clay's telling the Dems to quit talking about gun control.
What? Why? That's the best thing, right?
It sounds good but we'll dig into it a little bit. It's not as good as you think. Automating the gun control grief machine. Clay's going to have that one for you if you're wondering what that is. Yeah, they're speaking of AI. They're using some AI to try to push their agenda. SAAMI, the SAAMI, they always got the cartridge, SAAMI cartridges, like the headspace and the pressure. Well, they got them for suppressors now. I didn't dig too far into this, Clay.
Okay. I liked it. I just a little bit.
Yeah, you can kind of like usual. Cool. Clay and I will hash over with it, but I don't know. I don't think it dug into it enough. Maybe they will once they have this other meeting thing. But anyway, Trump task force cuts DC concealed waiting permits down. And Trump, who's not really pro gun, and
that guy's crazy, isn't he?
Dan says, Jamie, is that logo of the group you shot at 100 yards with God's cartridge? No, Dan, God's cartridge shoots a lot better than that. And in fact, he shot pretty good at 380 yards unless you didn't see the short I put up there. And
I
reel.
Did.
To be fair, I was out late there at the bull riding party after there in Golden Valley. And, I had a red boat still. I think the first one went low. Second one I hit it, and one of the young guys who was out there making hay on our property, he gave it a go. I even let him lean over the side by side there. He gave her 3 cracks. I couldn't get it, so I felt pretty good about it.
Well, yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There was plenty of luck involved, but I'll take it. So, and of course, the Happy Ending Chronicle will have that one per use. Clayton's got one, I think, boiled up here for it. And
I do.
And Friday, Clay's not going to be on with Todd Mitchell. I'll be in studio with Todd at 8:15 a.m. Central Time. So make sure you tune in. Don't even tune in for it. Actually, what I want you to do is get on the iHeart app and go on that, so Todd knows just how many people we got listening on there. So,
and we do well, everybody. Just so you know, it's pretty popular on the Friday morning. So yeah, Jamie, appreciate you filling in there. I will be out participating in one of my favorite events every year. That's the Jerry Kling yearling roundup. This year we got around 2,650 head to bring in and get them shipped in and get them loaded and get them in Lemmon here by Wednesday. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be hot, so we're going to be getting up tomorrow. We're going to be out there at daybreak. We're going to be on the ground ready to rock and roll. So I don't know. Awesome. I look forward to it every year. It's the closest thing I'm ever going to get to the big trailing of yearlings coming home that you're ever going to see again. So.
All right. Well, Clay, we didn't get the Second Amendment in there, did we?
We didn't. I'm going to do it a little bit different though.
Go for it, buddy.
I'm going to do this,
Yeah.
I mean, come on, right?
Speaking of AI,
I mean, that looks pretty cool to me.
I told Leon, AI loves to use him as a model. I know there's a few little glitches in there, and that's how you're going to know in the future when we're at war with the machines, so when they're making their shit up. But it still looks pretty cool. Leon looks good. The saying, Biden's not in office, so you can say 701 militia, and you won't have the DEA or ATF and everybody kicking your door in, Clay. So
there you go. Yeah. Well, and this just proves I do know it by heart. So right here, Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And I thought this was very fitting. Put this up here. I like that.
Blackbeard getting after it, man, with the AR and the iron sights. Love it.
And you're going to see a lot more of him coming up in the future. Just a little teaser. So there we go.
You bet.
I thought do a little something different with the Second Amendment.
Awesome. I like it, Clay. So, all right, deer season's coming up. We've got the bow hunters, and we're going to have all the seasons are going to get covered here: bow hunting, rifle hunting, muzzle loader. Any day you can get out deer hunting is usually a pretty good one, isn't it, Clay?
Oh yeah, I mean any day hunting's better than working. But deer archery in North Dakota opens up August 29th, so 9 days from now.
Yep.
And don't ask me, just so everyone knows. I don't, and that had nothing to do even with what happened with Game and Fish. I don't bow hunt, and so I don't let anybody hunt archery here until after rifle season. So
just on a bow hunt, that's all.
What's that? That's all. Just take your biggest
for a deer.
Well, by the way,
just a deer.
I freaking found the buck I want. I finally put some I saw him, and so then I put some game cameras out there. It's even a whitetail, so they're not all dead, and he rivals that one I found last year. So if he can stay alive and not catch
Number 5 alive. Number 5 by 5 alive.
Oh man! And I'm telling you, he's been hanging. You know where you and I got your one for your daughter?
Yeah.
Just go west. He's in that big
that's
creek.
good. It's swamp donkeys, man. You got that lower kind of them reeds and everything down there. And perfect.
I'm ready for him. So
I hope you get him.
Come on, man.
Leon, he's big guy. He's big bow hunter. So Leon,
I'd make an exception.
Some heavy bow hunting talk on 2A701 when it's on. So
I might make an exception for Leon.
All right, Clay.
Let's get at it.
So let's get into, like I said, any day you can get out hunting is a good one, but some days are better than others. Like I said, I got this from Real Tree, Mike Handback. I'm pretty sure I've seen this guy on some hunting shows before, but first dates he's got here, Clayton, September 15th through the 16th. So he doesn't even got North Dakota bow opener days on here for the best ones.
No. And see, you guys don't need that long.
Yeah. Anytime you hunt in the early season, the best and most predictable deer movement will occur in the afternoons. This September 15th, when the moon, this guy's heavy into his moon phases stuff too.
I noticed that, but I can tell you there is something to that. It seems like it really is.
Yeah. My buddy John Healy's a big moon phase guy. September 15th, like I said, when the moon enters the last quarter phase, that last day movement could be turbocharged. So September 15th, I'm going out the second week. I might be out opener. I doubt it, but the second week for sure. And he says for the last decade when he plans hunts, he's relied on a North Carolina state moon study. So it's college tested, man. It's got to be real. Of GPS collared deer. One of the project's finding is that during the last quarter moon, deer movement is often extreme within the last hour of the day, especially good. So whitetail for sure. I haven't really noticed like muleys the last hour. Maybe some people have an area, but mine.
Yeah. I had to put that one up.
Moon phases make night hunting much better. Yeah, that full moon. All right, Clay. Let's get into October here. He calls it scrape days, October 20th through the 23rd. So September, he's only got like 2 days that are really good. September 15th, October 20th through the 23rd. Mr. Hamback says studies are showing that whitetail bucks begin to intensify scraping behavior around October 20th. Data shows, this is kind of interesting. I talked about this buck breeding, but I didn't know it was this much. Data shows that bucks breed 5 to 7% of a herd's does on October 21st, give or take a few days. So that's pretty good, right?
Yeah, I mean,
5 to 7%.
yeah, I mean, I guess here's what I don't get is, this guy though he doesn't hunt the Midwest. It sounds like he's from over east farther, but I don't know. I mean, I've seen
Yeah.
deer out there around here though, Jamie. I don't know. There's not much breeding going around in that October unless we had a
Not
early
for me.
snow or something that might push them in, but not
Uh,
really.
He says that, that's what he calls the official kickoff of the rut, which is anything north of the 35th parallel. It's October 20th to him. I don't know where the 35th parallel is. I can't remember my geography, but so, like you said, morning activity spikes in late October when bucks are on the prowl for early does, marking the woods with scrapes and rubs and fighting frequently. Yeah, I mean, I do see that, but boy, I'm telling you, at our place, it seems like near the end of rifle season, right after, is when most of them are. I mean, call me, you're full of shit. Well, maybe you think I am, but that's when I see the most of them. I can tell you that. So let's go right in rifle season.
I will tell you, the 35th parallel. It defines the southern border of Tennessee, the border between North Carolina and Georgia, and the tri-point where Arizona, California, and Nevada meet. There you go. That's your 35th parallel.
We're in it. We're above it then. All right, November 4th through the 14th. Great rutting moon year, he says, this year. And in case you're wondering, North Dakota deer rifle opens the 7th of November and closes on the 23rd. So he said, regardless of weather or moon phase, these are good days to take off in any given year. Agreed. To me, the second weekend of deer season around here is the money shot if you want to get a big one. I mean, yeah, you can get a big one opener any other time, but to me, that's when I see the biggest ones around our area. So,
well, I can tell you, most of mine have been taken in, either the second or the last week of season. That's what it's been for me.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, opener. I've got a few on opener. I mean, I think I maybe have one biggest whitetail I got, but I mean, most of my other ones, second week. I mean, if I got a buck tag, I take like 3 days off in the second week because I'm fairly certain I'm going to cash in. So he goes on here, as the moon grows to full and brightness on November 5th, the deer movement should be especially good, maybe even explosive for several days.
Hey, Tom.
Ooh. Hey, what's up, Tom? Yeah, so that's November 5th. That's 2 days before the rifle opens here. So maybe that's what
bow hunt. Just open season early. I mean, come on.
If you hunt on November 5th through the 10th, you might see a shooter on the prowl or chasing a doe any time of the day. Bucks tend to move early in the afternoon than you might imagine. If you take a lunch break, get back on your post by 1 p.m. Yeah, we usually shoot for 2. But 1, I mean, yeah, if they're moving around a lot, go in and eat and maybe take a little hour break and get back.
Yeah, I can tell you, I've actually had a lot of success right in the middle of the afternoon in that later season. I really have. In fact, both of my big ones, they were shot in the middle of the day. Well, I shouldn't say. The first one was actually taken later afternoon, and then it took me forever to get back to the pickup. But I've taken a lot of deer in the middle of the afternoon around here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 3 o'clock, around 3 o'clock, we've shot many of them during
and big ones.
Season. Yeah, because I mean, it gets dark about 5, so yeah. He says, hey, if you can hack it, stay in your stand all day. Well, I mean, in our stand, you can definitely hack it.
Yeah, yours is pretty good. Yeah, I like it. I do. I still have high hopes.
Nothing fancy, but it's
I have high hopes yet this fall. I'm going to get one of mine put up. I've got the stuff. I bought the materials, but just as normal. I don't know if you looked at the forecast. They're already giving lows of 40s here coming up here pretty soon. So I imagine we won't get much of a fall. It's just going to go straight to winter. I don't know.
Good chance. All right, 2A701 said, got to put you boys in my ear till I finish up here. I'll be sending comments telepathically. And I just did. That's pretty impressive. I like that.
What are you finishing up, man? It's like 8:20 out there. Come on.
Yeah. What's going on? So November 19th to the 22nd. And when did I say deer? 23rd is over here, right? Yeah, the 23rd. So hey, this is the last week of deer season here, deer rifle season, North Dakota. He says, if you hunt these days out in the Midwest, Clay, we're considered the Midwest by most of these writers.
Generally, yeah.
You might hit lockdown, which definitely is a thing. when older bucks hook up and lock with does as they breed for several days. But if you hit it right, when bucks are coming out of lockdown, they start to cruise for another estrus doe, and you might have yourself a fantastic hunt when the big buck's out on the run there looking for some love. Brown chicken, brown cow.
Get the big one.
Which my buddy Travis and I didn't know what it meant until about 5 years ago, thanks to Scott Bachman.
Okay.
We're like, brown chicken, brown cow. What's that supposed to
be? Now you serious? Okay.
Yeah, we were like, brown. What's that supposed to mean?
Chicken pound.
Yeah, we didn't know it. Weird, right? So December 2nd through the 6th, which I mean, that's bow season still. And I think that's muzzleloader, and right, Clay? Muzzleloader is the last week of November and the first week of December, right?
Well, you know what?
Usually,
it's easier just to go bring it up, right?
Yeah, check it out when you're checking it out here. He says there's more late rutting activity and mature buck moving in early December than most people realize. That's probably true because I see a lot. I mean, I've seen muleys doing it big time at that time of year. One big thing is that the weather starts to cool down and stay that way for days in many areas. So yeah, I mean, if it gets colder, you see a lot more movement. Yeah, I mean.
So here I got your dates for you. Basically deer, mule, whitetail, whatever. Bow season statewide, no units, because that's fair. Anyway, you got
free for all.
It opens up August 29th and runs till January 4th. And of course, we got our regular seasons, which is rifle, and that is November 7th through November 23rd. So there you go.
They didn't got the muzzleloader on there?
We'll see if they got a separate thing for that.
Canceled this year.
Maybe. I doubt it, but yeah, let's see.
So in December, Clay, he says also, which is true here, bucks are wired and spooky now, but driven by two things, Clayton. Need to feed to replenish their bodies and overriding desire. The little brown chicken, brown cow with one more doe.
Breed and feed.
There you have it. If you get yourself a buck tag this year and you're really looking for the big daddy,
so they have a tentative opening date for muzzleloader of November 28th. They evidently have not set that yet. That's what it's listed right here, tentative.
Hey, I know the governor wants to.
Yeah, so hey, Kelly, have you done it? Because maybe the website's not updated, but that's what it's got on the website here. So,
One Shot Caps has got his biggest buck November 1st, Highway 212.
There you go, 212. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, I like I don't know if you want to shoot one on opening day. Damn right I do.
If it's a big one,
I will have without hesitation.
Not even a problem.
Usually opening weekend is nice weather too. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was with a bow. Actually, crossbow.
Look at the hole, man.
I mean, if you're gonna do it illegally, might as well go use the biggest gun you got with thermal and do it in the middle of the night. Anyway, no, don't do that. We're not advocating that. We're being funny.
Absolutely not, especially not on our property. Well, Clay, 23 after, should we do our first out at the eggplant here?
Yeah, we should. The big eggplant. All right. Guys, here's our first ad to thank our sponsors.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Oh, I must cut that one short. All right, we're back.
No, that was it.
David's-
Hey, that's the only big that's the only eggplant we got right now. We might have another one
Yeah,
getting on board.
we definitely got
We'll
we have a new sponsor.
Yeah, he's on board, but it's just if he's an eggplant or a baby carrot.
Yeah, he's definitely on. So, and we announced it here a while back. Kalon's Auto Service right out of Lemmon, and Kalon's done some fantastic work for me too. Hey, I can't always get up to Lauer Auto Repair; it's 100 miles away, you know. So, so now you got two choices, everybody.
We are
a network. So now, if you're in Bismarck, you stop at Lauer Auto. If you're in Lemmon, you go to Kalon's Auto Service, and we're happy to have him come on board. I was in there today. And I need to get their logo. She's going to send, she don't like the logo. I said, well, maybe we can do something about that too. So, but for now, we'll get things rolling. And so we can start by, I'll put it this way. I'm going to officially launch him the first of the month, you know, in September. So thanks to Kalon for coming on board because he's a good guy. He really is. And of course, he likes them old classic cars just like I do. So it is an addiction. You know that?
Mm-hmm. I've been told it's never bitten me, but I understand it.
All right, so we have an opening date coming up for doves. It's opening up September 1st. I thought you're right in here in North Dakota, and I don't know if you've ever hunted doves, Jamie. I have. I used to really.
I have, but you know, I'll admit to you right now, I'm an amateur. What you're about to talk about here. So.
You know, I didn't get that into as far as. My favorite was 7.5, at least the 1 ounce, and I did like the 1 ounce, 1 1/8 ounce shot. That's what I reload. That's what I make for my loads. That is my one dub load. I don't go with all these other ones because I can do what I need to do with that. I also have decoys. They do work. It's great to find dead trees.
I have heard that.
And you got to find that flyway, which we have one over here that they come through just about like clockwork, but it takes so damn many of them, and they're fast. So they're good eating.
Yeah, well, they're like all erratic too. I mean, they don't fly a straight pattern. They're this and that.
It's great practice to get you in shape for partridge, grouse, and pheasants. See, that's why I don't miss them pheasants, Jamie. You saw what I did.
Which you know, speaking of that, I talked to a fella down today. I helped out bump up we went below 1 million guns there last month, so I helped him out again. Which the last couple of months I've been trying my best, and he dove hunts out western part of the state, and he worked. I'm not going to say what I bought. Good Scots. I'll tell you what I did because I bought it running. Okay. Appreciate the guy, good dude, real good guy. Used to work at Shields, and hopefully he's listening. He said he was gunning tonight. So Scott, if you're listening, buddy, talk to your manager. Hey, maybe we get a.
Yeah, there we go. We'd love that. We're runners, we'd love to have you come on and say, hey, running supports guns in the 701.
Absolutely.
Yes. And
absolutely. One thing so I did, he said lots of partridge at their place. He said it was crazy.
Oh, there's so many partridge this year, Jamie. Like I said, I'm planning to come up again, pheasant season. I think you guys ought to come down here. We have pheasants this year. And come down, and maybe if Wyatt wants to bring his dogs.
Yeah, Wyatt and Tammy and I, and maybe Axe, and we can come down and rent the patronage or partridge. What do you call it?
The parsonage. You don't even have to rent it.
Parsonage.
You just use it. So, you know what? For as much work as I still do around there, you can use it. And I need to get it up and running anyway. I didn't have any renters in there this summer.
God, maybe Wyatt and Tammy can measure for some blinds.
There we go. There.
Because Axe and I stayed there, real nice place, very nice.
I figured it out one time. It's almost, I want to say it's like a 110-year-old house. Yeah, pretty awesome. Yep.
Really? I mean, it's in good shape. Slept great. I mean, it had nothing to do with all the rum and sevens I had there.
There's plenty of sleeping room there, and and then we got Buck Williams and the guys. Come down there and go to Florida. They come up here deer hunt. They're going to be here in November, so it's going to be rented out a little bit here this fall, which is great to see and have people in there. So
awesome.
Anyway, you got to come down. I think we'll do a little pheasant hunting, do a little, if you want to shoot prairie carp, if you want to get some grouse and some partridge, they're all over the place if you can hit them.
I'll be running the camera.
And
you get any prairie dogs close, and I'll bust out the 701
Jason
rifle
said,
Bloodline Kinetics.
Jason wants us to come back down there. Them things went, where we found all the damn rattlesnakes. But we're gonna
feed them things a bunch of mice, and they don't look at us.
All right. Let's get to what we were going to talk about. Well, I thought, and it's funny, I didn't know Jamie was doing the deer thing, and I thought, well, we got dove season coming up, so I thought, we'll do this. I saw this one, and I don't know if anyone shoots doves, if it gets that big about it. I enjoy it. But
Oh, I know a lot of people who do. Josh said he loves dove hunting.
Yeah. He says 7.5 or 8 shot, 1.5 ounce. Yes, and I got decoys. I love using the decoys. It's amazing how stupid them birds are. They'll come into those. I do use my over and under sometimes, but I usually use my BPS. That's my favorite gun.
Man bun.
Oh, man bun. Yeah, my Weatherby. But I prefer. I've got usually an improved cylinder to a modified in there. I don't use the full because I don't want that pattern spreading. I don't want that on doves. I want to try and take them close enough, and they're moving, man. You got to have that. You got to have them BBs heading towards their way. So
do you want it? I mean, is the pattern? Do you still want it big like a pheasant, or do you want it like a choke that'll?
I keep mine tighter. And I'm probably unusual, or I'm not in the norm of that. A lot of people they use way wide patterns and they try to get one BB there. But I can tell you early season, that works great. You get into the later season, even around here, there's enough guys that hunt them. You're going to have to go with something that keeps that pattern a little tighter and spreads out farther out. And then you got to watch what you're using. And as that article talked about, do you use 8? Do you use 7.5? I can tell you right now, 7 I don't use, especially in the late season. You got to be able to put more BBs in your shot shell. So that's just what that's about.
So just for reference, Clay, for a guy like me who doesn't really, what shot is like you're shooting sporting clays?
Sporting clays, I use 8. That's good enough for sporting clays.
Okay. So doves are kind of using the same thing.
Yep. I use 8 most of the time. And a lot of times I'm using a 1 to 1 1/8 ounce when I reload that for my sporting clays or trap, and that's okay. That meets regulation. And it just comes down to how many BBs you want in there.
And what was he saying? Like 7.5 shot has like 460 BBs in the 12 gauge.
Really little bitty shot.
And when the higher the number, so it's 8 shot. Now does that have more or less BBs?
It has more BBs because it's a smaller shot. So the higher up the shot is, the smaller the BB is in there. So when you get to 6 shot, well, you've seen 6 and 5, right? And then you get to what they call T or BB. Them are really big, and there ain't many in them, but you kind of need them to knock goose down. So
yeah, like double out and triple out buck. And okay, I got it.
It's kind of like the gauges, awesome. 410, and then you get to your 20 and your 16 and your 12. Well, the smaller the number, it's opposite, right? Smaller the number, the bigger the gauge. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lane Chase, he says he's 410, goes full choke on that. Josh, he says we run modified choke. My boy is really handy with the mod and full choke, since that's what he used for trap. Sorry, tarp.
So I usually carry 2 guns with me, Josh. I usually got my BPS, or I've got my over and under. And sometimes I'll throw that Model 12 I got in there. That's a Model 1200 Winchester. So I have a gun with every choke I need in it. My double barrel's got 2 different chokes. It's got the modified, and then of course it's got the improved. And then of course my BPS has the. I'm trying to remember what I got, a full in that one if I remember right. Yeah.
Unimproved almost looks like an 8, right? It's wide.
It goes. Yeah, it's kind of that in between one. So. All right, so this guy, and he was talking, and just what we were talking about, 8 shot, it's smaller in shot size, but it has more pellets in it. And yeah, he mentioned that, 410 pellets in an 8 shot. Let's see, 1 ounce payload of 8 shot would have about 410 pellets, where a 1 1/8 ounce will have 461 in it. And that has to do with the amount of room in there.
I mean, that's a big difference.
It really is. It is.
In my mind.
And it makes a difference. You wouldn't think 50 different or 51 extra pellets. Do you think about how little they are?
Those are tiny, because I was going to say, you get a pellet when you're eating pheasant and a breast, and I mean, that already looks
And
tiny.
I mean, you got to weigh it out. Do you want to get depth or knockdown power, or do you want to have distance?
Yeah, heavier shot's going to penetrate.
It's not going to fly as far. I mean, you only can put so much powder in them shot shells unless you're going to move up to a Magnum. You get a 3-inch mag, now that changes the game altogether.
And then you probably got nothing left to eat if you hit
them. You better shoot them out their ways. And sometimes it is fun,
See, Eric, that's what I used to do. Eric's his pellet gun and driving the power line. Yeah, I drove the fence lines with my 3-wheeler, and it probably wasn't legal when I was a kid, but, I had the 766 Crosman, pumped it up and had a scope on it. I got my. I didn't need them. I know some people I run across other young, 14, 15-year-olds, and they had a whole freaking bucket full, man. They were jacked up. They were going to
and I can tell you a lot of guys I know, like Lane said. By the way, Lane, I did get your message. I just haven't had a chance to call you back. But yeah, 410. A lot of people use a 410, but I'm telling you right now, with the price of 410s, especially, I don't reload 410. So that what they cost, I'm not going to use them because you can go through boxes and boxes.
Yeah. I mean, you think 410 is cheaper, but it's not because it's not as common. 410s.
And I can reload. I mean, I'm set up. I've got a progressive loader down here, and I can knock out. Every time I'm pulling it.
You should get a conservative
one. I knew that was going. Every time I pull that handle, it's making a fully charged, shotgun shell. So. And he kind of covered some of these, and I figured I'd give them to you guys because I've used all of these, I think. So you've got the Federal Hybrid, which I have used that. That's a 12 gauge, 2 3/4 length, so regular standard. 1 1/8 ounce, 8 shot, moving about 1,200 feet per second. Yeah, it's moving pretty good, but you got to remember, that's going to drop off. It's a shotgun shell. Winchester Super X, I bet everybody has used these. I've used these for upland birds, doves. I've even used them on partridge.
I mean, that red shot shell with the X on, man, it just reminds me of being young and walking. I mean, I loved that.
That's all we had, I think, back then.
Yeah,
I've got some old Winchester boxes, the old ones with I quit using. I didn't realize what they.
So do you use the high brass or them?
I don't use the high brass because I don't reload necessarily those. If I buy those, I just buy the cheap ones, and I don't reload them or pick them up. And that low brass is hard to reload. You got to have a higher brass to reload. Now the ones I reload just for that, I pick them up, but they're a high brass. It's just easier to reload them.
Okay.
So these are medium, I'd call, like these Federals. I think that's about a medium brass. I don't know. I imagine these Super X's. It's been a while since I've shot them because I haven't bought any for a while. I can't even remember if they're a medium brass or a low. So then you got the Remington heavy dove loads. I've used those. They're a 7, these are a 7.5.
That's the black hull, right? The Remingtons are the black hull.
Well, you can get green ones too, but some are. I don't know what they are now. They keep changing. I've got some old green ones.
Last time when I was bird hunting, and of course they were like the 1,500 feet per second. Jesus Christ, JD! I know. Once I started getting heavy into shooting rifles, my shotgunning skills went down the drain. So I had.
So the Winchester and the Remington both are moving about 1,255 feet per second. One is an 8 shot, the Winchester, and the Remington's actually pushing a 7.5. So you're getting a bigger shot, a BB, moving at the same velocity in the Remington. So they're doing something a little different in their load.
I got a text here from a 28 gauger. He said 410 is too aggravating for dove hunting.
I imagine it would be Wyatt. Fiocchi. The last time I used these Fiocchis or Fiucci's, they were the low brass. Mm-hmm. Those had a clear shot shell. I don't know if that's what they still are. Some of them are blue, I think.
Mm-hmm. It's like Zima.
It's like a Zima, yeah. But they're low. This is a 12 gauge. They're a 1 ounce shot, and then they got a 7.5 for the size, and moving about 1,250.
I'm a fan of Fiocchi.
I've used a lot of Fiocchis. I really have, especially if I didn't bring any reloads with me. And I can tell you, I've even bought some of their actual reloadable shot shell hulls. I've had good luck with them. So, and in the Browning Performance, I've never used these. I guess I've never
used Browning shotgun shells in my life.
Browning ammo, but I've never had these.
Yeah, the Browning. I can tell you, Browning 22 real quick. I've used that, like the squirrel on it. They go 1480 or something. Super accurate, and it's a segmented one, so it just blows the living shit out of whatever you hit.
These are an 8 shot with a 1 1/8 ounce weight to them, moving 1155. So they're about 100 feet per second, slower than all the others that we got, but. I've never used them. I can't tell you, but yeah, as far as the other ammo from Browning's been good. I imagine it's good. When it comes to the shotgun shells, I mean,
Browning makes a lot more ammo now than they used to. I'm telling you, like when I was serious pheasant hunting, it was probably not as serious as Wyatt does, but I'd went, 2-3 times a month. But yeah, that was probably 10, 12 years ago.
I used to shoot trap every week, and that's why I bought that reloader, because I was going through 200 rounds, 300 rounds a week, especially if I took my sons with me. So,
well, here Lane's talking about Federal Prairie Storm 2 and 3/4, 5 and 6 shot. I use on pheasants, and because it shoots 1,500 feet per second. Yeah, remember I told you them Remingtons I got? They were
the Prairie Storm does a good job. It really does.
They seem pretty popular. I've seen those around.
So
quite
I
a
load
bit.
5-shot. I do not use 6-shot. I reload. When I was up there with you this past year, I don't know if you noticed, I had some reloads. I was picking them up because those are the high brass. I reload them. They're moving. They got some oomph to them. They're about as hot of a load as you can load in a shot shell, but they did the job, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can take those longer shots.
You don't believe it? Go watch the video.
Oh my goodness, one shot. I remember the old Peters paper cartridges. Yeah, if you've got some of them, keep them. Now the collectors want those paper cartridges. They really do.
Yeah, my dad, I remember, he used to have a bunch of them down his reloading.
Dan says the outside height of the brass on a shotgun hull basically means nothing. The ammunition manufacturers use high brass because the public perception is to be more powerful load. And
guilty as charged. Dan.
I guess I didn't think it was more powerful. I just find it easier to load than the low brass. Now my newer reloading press is good. When I was using the old Lee load all, it would not load the low brass for nothing. So that's why I never kept it.
Merriman, Corey, he uses Federal Prairie Storm as well.
A lot of people do. So
yeah, I mean, you go into Shields, man, and bird season, pheasant season opens. I mean, that shit is everywhere.
I mean, I even got I got Remington and Winchester, and I've got the double X hulls. I've got the actual reloadable ones that are, they're made to reload several times. I've got some Federal ones as well that seem like they work pretty good. And I'll load them up for both trap, or I load them up for pheasants and grouse.
Well, we should have the Gov on again before bird opener, because he's a big pheasant man, and see what he runs for. I don't remember what he said. If we did, I'm almost sure we talked to him about it somewhat. Dave says he's talking about dram weight to make them cycle. I don't remember what that is exactly. I've definitely heard that term, but I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not.
When you got to remember, I am not a professional. I loaded what I knew worked, and that's what I did. I do remember the dram weight. I got a whole book on how, when I set that machine up.
You know what Dramamine is?
but when I set up the machine, I went according to what the load that was closest to what seemed like it was shooting the best, and that's what it set at. It's still set at that today, and I've had that thing for 15 years. So I don't remember what I set it at, but yeah.
Well, if I go shotgun, I'll just buy them.
A lot of people do. It used to be way cheaper to buy them. Not anymore. It's about a wash, probably.
Clay, is it illegal, like a pheasant or a dove, is it illegal to just take your God's cartridge and take the head off when they're on the ground?
Probably. I really don't know. Don't care.
I was gonna say I'd be game for that, but
I remember maybe the guys who actually care about what rules are, let me know. I'm on my private land, and I will be the first one to say I do whatever the hell I want.
Right on.
I can tell you that I've seen a lot of things in the field that I didn't do, and I know that God's cartridge works really good for that.
Oh man, that works.
I mean, hell, I can remember my grandpa shooting them with 22s. I'm talking pheasants and grouse back when I was a kid, So
yeah.
Good luck going after him unless you're going to dig him up. So anyway,
yeah. To talk.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we take our big break, because we're about 1:45.
Yep.
I hope we're not too much like low energy Jeb tonight, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I am low energy Jeb, I apologize. Yep. I'll tell you guys down the road here, but I did get some very shitty news about somebody I love dearly this afternoon. So I'll let you guys know down the road here. But if I'm low energy tonight, I apologize.
It was kind of, that's all. Don't just give us a break tonight, okay? So they'll just say that. All right, here we go. Let's thank some sponsors. Remember, Kalon's Auto Service, because we don't have nothing in here yet for him. He's on board. Then stop by there. He's right off of Highway 12 in Maine, and you're not going to be disappointed. So we'll be right back.
309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy, Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Looking for the best gun gear for every and any situation? Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
At Horton LaserCraft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton LaserCraft makes every moment unforgettable. Horton LaserCraft is owned and operated by a local veteran and his wife located near Thunderhawk, South Dakota. They provide custom laser products at a reasonable price, and their turnaround time is fast and efficient.
Custom board cutting, glassware, decanter sets, mugs, assorted stainless steel jewelry, assorted tags, decor, custom acrylic nightlights, and much, much more.
Call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton LaserCraft, where memories are engraved.
All right, and we are back. So it was bugging me. I had to go check this out. So the DRAM is the dram equivalent in a shot shell. It was actually kind of used, you know how like black powder cartridges, were how many, grains of black powder in the cartridge. Well, that's kind of what the DRAM was back when they were using black powder in the old shot shell cartridges. Okay. And now it's kind of used to reference essentially the muzzle velocity, the performance coming out of that kind of equates the old black powder signature. That's what it says in my book anyway. So just thought I'd go run over there and check it out. I've got what they call the Shotgunner's Bible is what they call it. So
yeah. Hey, and one thing, Clay, I went and checked. Hey, if you guys are listening, make sure you hit that like button. Let's that liberal.
I gotta get my finger in here. Go over that way and hit that donation. And that helps out a lot. We want to thank the people who've been doing that. Since we started saying that, people have been doing that. We appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate everybody who's done that
like
for
the
us. And,
page, subscribe at CommieTube. share, tell everybody about it. It does make a difference, and we're starting to see that show up in our stuff, and we're getting more traffic again.
You're gonna have something on the website, aren't we?
We are, yeah. When we get that relaunched, like I said, I'm hoping to do that. After Labor Day is kind of what we were setting our goal for, and we're gonna have a deal where if people want to go on there and make it a reoccurring thing monthly, they'll be able to do it if it's $5 or $10, whatever. You can do that to help support the show, and we surely appreciate that. It helps make everything go around. And
I think we're going to be on Instagram, and I don't know, maybe TikTok too.
Kind of sounded like it, didn't it?
Yeah. And in case everybody's wondering, you're watching all the platforms. Everybody can't see how many are viewing all of them, Clay, but I see it's 70, and that doesn't count the website.
No, the website had 2, and let's see, there's 3 over here, and then so we got about 5 over on Rumble. So, from last summer to now, we've definitely, I would say, doubled. Yeah, Good Night used to be about 30.
I'm going to curious to see what it's going to be like this fall and this winter.
So no, we're looking forward to having. We got some things happening. We really do.
Yeah, and Leon's going to come on, and I can tell you guys at least twice a month during the winter, I'm going to be doing 701 Nation again, and we are planning on doing some drinks at the 701.
And we've got another thing happening. I'm going to be heading to Bismarck Friday, so me and Jamie and
stay tuned. We might have something kicking off. Hopefully we do, and that would be awesome. Brian said, how much for the life membership?
Take the money and put it on interest, right? Well, NRA's is $750, but
48 watching on X. X is kicking ass.
X is always our powerhouse here. They really are. So thanks to all our X listeners. I know Kevin. I hope maybe Kevin's listening over there. We miss having your Pennsylvania input. Darn it! Come on.
Yeah, well, 18 wheels and a dozen 6-shooters. He
must be trucking.
But yeah, the hot weather and the high humidity must be chasing people into the watch. And that's fine. I love hot weather, and I'm glad it's helping us out tonight, so.
All right. Well, which one do you want to do next? You want?
All right, Clay. I'll tell you what. We got my first mag dump here. Never heard of this character. Progressive commentator David Pac-Man. It's P-A-K, not P-A-C like the game. He has some advice for Democrat candidates, Clay. Quit talking about gun control.
That, huh? It's not working.
Yeah, and it's not. Yeah, it's not what you think, though. It's not what you think, Clay. Some people it's probably what we think, but Pac-Man made the somewhat surprising comment, not because he's had it. Of course, I got this from BearingArms.com. Cam Edwards, awesome Second Amendment advocate. Not because he had a change of heart about the Second Amendment and its importance, Clay. No. He's still all in favor of restricting your Second Amendment rights. Don't kid yourself there. He just doesn't want Democrats talking about imposing new gun control laws on the campaign trail, preferring instead that they just stealthily enact those laws once they're elected.
That.
And it says, speaking on the Within Reason podcast, which I bet you if I listened to it, I'd call it Without Reason podcast. Pac-Man said that talking up gun control is problematic for Democrats because it empowers the opposition more than it excites the Democrat base. So in other words, more voters are motivated to vote against gun control than vote for it, which I would definitely agree with Cam on that. Now, you'd think that might cause Pac-Man to reevaluate his own support for things. Run the list, Clay. AR-15 bans, magazine capacity bans, red flag laws, waiting periods, all this shit that the Democrats claim will stop something. But of course, we have all that shit already in California, and it doesn't, right? But it didn't. But it didn't. It didn't change his mind at all.
Imagine that.
Cam says Pac-Man's right that gun control isn't the winning issue. He said for candidates to run. I said most candidates. Some Democrats, it is a winning issue. And he's also correct that once in power, Democrats can and will enact as many anti-2A laws as they can get away with. For sure, they will. That is a guarantee. That is a guarantee. And of course, Democrats are unpopular as all hell right now, Clay. And their heads got to be exploding. Trump's popularity went up to 54%.
Yeah, they got to be
much as he's kissing Putin's ass. And well, guess what? He's getting a deal done, and most people in America love that. They like that about it, right? And so we can expect to see a lot of the candidates follow Pac-Man's advice and not talk about gun control unless or until they win a racer. And then guess what? They'll be billowing that shit out every pipe hole they got.
I thought he pointed, in the article that he said he said the quiet part out loud. He goes that we can't do anything unless we're in power. It's always about the power. That means lie. What he's really saying is
if you're not in power, you can't make laws.
When you're running, lie to the people about your actual beliefs on all the issues, but especially gun control, because you're going to get in there and not say a word about it, get elected, and then turn around and stab every one of your constituents in the back that thought you might be having a change of heart. I mean, plain and simple, he's telling their Democrats to lie to their constituents.
Lie about what you really believe so you get elected.
Lie to get elected for power.
So speaking about winning elections to get your agenda passed, Clay, pissing and moaning about Trump and Republicans because you're not seeing a list that doesn't exist anymore. And if they don't win elections, guess who wins? Guys like Pac-Man, and then you get that shit, and then you get those judges, and then you get the borders open again. Because if they win, right, they'll kick that fucking wall down. They'll get dozers down there to push it over or something. I guarantee you. They'll be, but and then the country will be a total shithole again because you guys didn't fucking get to see my Epstein fucking list.
I can tell you right now, we are so much better off than where we were just 7 months ago. I mean,
good as we've been in the 80s when Reagan, better probably, man. I mean, we're kicking DEI out of schools. The border secure. We're kicking illegals. I'm finding all kinds of drug dealers, child molesters.
Absolutely.
These people are just scum of the frickin' earth, drug traffickers. I mean, kills hundreds of thousands of people every year with their dope. You will bow to my purple hair and tell me how great I am, instead of just ignoring it. I mean, I could go as long as my freaking ape arms are, Clay. The list of the good shit that's going on. Second Amendment, Clay. I haven't worried about my gun rights one goddamn time since
I haven't either. And there's some things that are moving slower than I'd like, but it's not probably because of his fault. And we're going to talk about a little of that in DC, what's going on. But yeah.
No, Clay, real quick. Your amendment, like you and I are on here right now. Our First Amendment rights are improving rapidly. Yeah, you can go out. I mean, wokeness is pretty much dead. People don't want to hear about that bullshit. I mean, if you live in a big blue city, if you're in Fargo, I just seen today, I don't remember how many damn police officers quit, or that DEI chief they got down there. But
same in
how many quit everywhere else? I don't know, where it was a big number.
And I can tell you right now, a lot of companies, again, they're like Democrats. They're just hiding their true colors. They've abandoned their supposedly DEI stuff. Some of them renamed it. I mean, look what the Minnesota freaking Vikings did. They just put two faggots out there to go ahead and be cheerleaders with women.
I think they were actually out there before even, but
I don't know it.
Now they're getting so anyway. But Clay, speaking of companies, look at all these big companies that they ditched their DEI.
They did, but they didn't. Some of them really did. Some of them just changed the name.
But that would have never happened without Trump winning. I mean, a bunch.
Bottom line is everything's better. So whether the cowboy down in Nebraska thinks so or not, or some other people that we know, come on, it was a solid choice: Trump or Commie Harris. Plain and simple. And if it would have went for Harris, this country, we'd probably be in a civil war. Honestly.
Yeah. Well, look at Brian Warner says here, Tulsi Gabbard cutting the crap out of DNI. Yeah, she's getting all the deep state freaks out of there, and not to mention Tulsi's hot. She freaking runs an AR like a champ.
Just like that Sweeney gal, she's a hell of a shooter.
Yeah,
all the conservative women, they're usually pretty attractive and they can shoot. So.
Well, that's why I knew Tulsi wasn't a leftist from the get-go. Dougie Wolf, right here, yeah. Dianne Feinstein, Mr. and Mrs. America, turn them all in. If she said, if I could have got the votes, she'd have done it.
She'd done it.
And every Democrat now would do the same damn thing.
Took all their moves from Tim Walz. Yeah. Talking about the little...
Yeah, speaking of the Vikings, yeah. What do they got, like Chaz and Kaz or whatever their freaking weird names are? Taj and... Apparently one of them went to NDSU. I've seen...
Pac-Man.
Yeah,
I went and found that and downloaded it while we were listening.
That's pretty good. I like that. All right, enough of that crap, Clay. Let's get to your first mag dump.
I'm going to go with, I guess I'll go with the first one here. if everybody remembers, I think, did I do this on our show or did I do it on Mitchell in the morning? I do this so much anymore that I can't remember which shows I'm doing what on, but we talked about the AI generated
it was
Acosta.
I thought it was Michael.
Maybe it was on Michael's show. It could have
was
been. I couldn't remember. I honestly don't remember.
Anyway,
Dakota
Mornings. I think it was maybe.
Anyway,
not.
he
right,
had a
so many.
fake AI generation with pre-programmed answers to get a result he wanted and make it seem like this poor guy, this victim that died. We resurrected him with AI. Now he's answering the questions that
he's telling you what to do to straighten it.
I finally went and watched it. Are you freaking kidding me? Anyway.
Oof.
Yeah, I finally had to go do it, and I was like, it was tough to watch. But anyway, here's what I got a problem with, and that's what this automating gun control grief machine, that's the article, and I agree with this. So think about what they did. They took the grief that many parents feel if they lose a child, whether the child dies from a gun, whether they die from an accident, or from an illness. If you lose your child, I can't even fathom what that's like, nor do I ever want to experience. That's a club I never, ever want to belong to.
Yeah, I'd be.
And I can remember when Al died, Greg's brother, and I talked with Ron one night when we were down there, and he goes, he said, don't matter how old they are. He was a grown man, had a family. He says, it still hurts just as bad as if they'd have been 5, 18, wouldn't have mattered. He says, it's just not natural to go or, have your child go before you. And I just can't even imagine. You could tell it just tore him up. But anyway, but they're using this grief, and that's why I bring it up. That grief that you feel as a parent, some people would be pissed and outraged, as they should be, but these parents actually were encouraging this. They took that grief and played on people's emotions because the gun argument, as you were just saying, Mr. Pac-Man, he don't want people to even talk about it if they're running, right? Well, that's because it's a losing issue, but they're going to try now, being they can't get the laws passed, they can't win elections, they can't get their agenda through. Let's weaponize grief for this now. And to me, that's what they did. They took a victim and then went on his 25th birthday, decided to make an AI generation of this guy as an adult at 25 and what he would say about gun violence. They used all the key terms. I think it's horrendous. I think if you have such a strong argument on your side, and that being to trample my rights, Second Amendment rights, then you don't need to do deep fakes. You don't need to do AI generate. You don't need to play on the emotions as they do each and every day. I mean, think about the victims they try to roll out and go, it's always the same with a Democrat. It's a victim list, right? So you got to do this because this victim, we have this victim, we have that victim. It just, to me, it was absurd. And they're right. That's exactly what they were doing when they brought out this AI generated victim. Now that 25, who's not 25, he passed away, unfortunately. And I kind of like what they said, that he says freedom. I like his paragraph that freedom doesn't need deep fakes, which is what I just said. Real facts are suffice. Gun ownership is at record highs. Well, that's the truth. We've seen record transfers for how many.
And murder and crime rates
are dropping. And let's face it, we have more first-time gun owners out there than we've ever seen, I think, Jamie. I don't know. I meet them all the time. People who listen to the show, they're like, hey, I bought my first gun. I was like, awesome. Or we listened to your part, and then they went down to one of them places we recommended and tried some firearms and bought their first concealed. So people are aware, and they are listening, and they're taking. I love the fact that they're doing that, and we're helping in that. Isn't that cool? We're actually helping and making first-time gun owners out of people who had never had one. I mean, look at Michael. Michael, how many times we got to beat this drum?
You got a Ruger 380.
He went and bought a firearm. He's learning how to use it. He's very interested in the Second Amendment. We're never going to agree on everything, and him and I have had that discussion.
And he bought a bunch of ammo from one of our
me and Michael and you and Michael and us as a group. We get along great with him, and I'm glad that we're able to have that discussion on the biggest platform in the Midwest, KFYR 550, and then every Friday morning. So I look at that as
and the number one podcast.
There you go. Well, that's our story anyway. But and then of course, as you and I we always preview what we call, and you dubbed it, I love it better, the happy ending chronicle of the week. We do it on this show, and we do it every Friday. And when we're on Michael's show, we do it, right? And when you do 701 Nation, you do it. So
I guarantee you 2A 701 Blackbeard's going to have it rolling on there,
and
too.
The thing is the national news never does it. Because that doesn't help their argument. It doesn't help their ideology at all. It doesn't help restrict your rights. It just shows how that store clerk prevents a robbery. A homeowner stops a break-in, which we're going to be talking about that here on our Happy Ending Chronicle. Or they just flat out save lives. We've seen that how many times at a church. I mean, remember the Texas guy at church? Well, he had his AR. He saw this happening, and he
didn't even have a full mag. He had like 5 rounds handy.
Basically took care of the problem. So guns are used far more to defend people than they ever are to kill people. And you got to remember the stats are always skewed because they want them to read the way they want them to read. So they include things that have nothing to do with criminal activity.
So real quick on skewed statistics, Clay, I know it's been a narrative all week here ever since Trump with the National Guard in D.C. They're like, did you know that the top 5 states are red states with the highest crime rate? Yeah, but did you know why that is if you dig deeper into it? Because those red states are run by big, huge, freaking blue population centers that vote Democrat. The city count, they're all Democrats. That's where the high crime rate is, and makes the whole state look like shit. Take that out of there, and it wouldn't even be near the top 5. But that's how Democrats run, because Democrats are lying pieces of shit, and that's the kind of shit they'll do to make themselves.
I'll tell you what. When I took statistics in college and in high school, you know what that accomplished for me? To never trust a stat. Because you seriously, depending on how you use the information, how you use the numbers, and how you word it, changes the complete narrative of something that's actual factual truth to something that fits your narrative. I don't trust statistics at all when I see them. And I ain't gonna lie, I've done it myself when I'm trying to freaking make a point to somebody. The facts probably already lean my way, but I really wanted to drive it home. So I cherry picked what I wanted out of the report, and they do that all the time.
Look at North Dakota. You know where most of the crime is. I'll get to your comment shortly. Fargo's an armpit of the state. Williston was getting a bunch of out-of-state people there. Oh yeah, I was blaming out-of-state people.
It was.
The Burleigh County Sheriff was on Michael Bell's show months ago and said by far and away the highest people they arrest, they're not even from North Dakota. They come here and they're the number one crime committers, the number one people they arrest.
Whether they want to admit this or not, the people that were coming in, and I'm not talking for the oil field, I'm talking about the migrants, the people that Lutheran Social Services and Catholic Social Services were bringing in because they were getting paid, making tons of money doing it. Those son of a bitches were some of the biggest criminals we brought into this state, and we're not. Now the state's doing it. Kelly wants to shut something down. Shut that down.
Yeah,
Burgum's the one that took it under the states because they.
Yeah, that definitely was. Yep,
it needs to be shut down. We don't need any of them people here. We don't need them. I don't want them here.
And Minnesota. You're right. And if you want to tell you what, if you want to bring people in here to fill a job, go to somewhere where it's more a conservative area, a conservative country, and they end up turning into more Republicans, and then bring them here. It doesn't matter where they come from. I know Kelly and I are going to disagree on this. He said it doesn't. It does matter, Kelly. I'm sorry to say that, but it does.
Doug says it sounds like I'm empty. I need a commercial break.
So Dan says, when I said that about Fargo's police chief, he says maybe should take it easy on the Fargo PD attrition. 50 officers leaving in 4 to 5 years, and the size of the department is well within the normal rates of other departments. Okay. All right, Dan, I defer to you on that, but their police chief is still a DEI freaking turd. As far
I agree with you on that. But yeah, I don't know about I'll take Dan's word for it, because Dan would never. Dan's just a good guy. Wouldn't lie to him. So.
Right.
He says,
yeah, okay.
I agree. Fargo PD is run by liberals, but to be fair, context needs to be applied to the attrition number. Absolutely, Dan. And we appreciate that.
I appreciate that, because Clay and I try to be as truthful and factual as we can.
I can tell you that that isn't always the case, and it don't matter what industry it is when you see big numbers of people leaving, which seem big to you, might not be able. Like I said, we were just talking about stats. Stats can be made to read any way you want them to, and give a public perception to it. So yeah, thank you, Dan, because I wouldn't know that. I really wouldn't. I mean, I guess when you figure that out, 10 officers a year, which probably isn't that bad.
I mean, I was kind of curious about it, but I was just like, you know what, the guy's a liberal, so I'm going to blast.
I don't know how many officers they got. That might be 1%, which is nothing for turnout over in a big corporation.
Yeah, Fargo's a big city, and they need them because just like every other day, there's a goddamn shooting down there.
So, there we're just talking mass shootings are statistical outliers. That's right. That was one of the things this was mentioned in the AI problems. And then the ghost machine, what you're talking about, the AI avatar, and that's what it is. And I love what he says here. AI will not resurrect a victim, and it can't. It won't make classrooms safer, and it can't. I'm adding that. It won't erase a simple truth. Liberty is messy. Freedom comes with risks. And the Second Amendment, and I say this all the time, don't I, isn't negotiable. It's not up for debate. I don't want to compromise on it, nor will I. I don't need to compromise on it. It is a right set in stone with 27 words. Plain and simple. The Second Amendment is not up for debate, at least in my world. And I like that. That's my exact belief.
Yeah. Oh, it's the same as according to the Supreme Court in Bruin, who wouldn't have passed without Trump getting elected.
Absolutely. If it would, you think about this. Without,
you just kissed Trump's ass.
This is fact.
No, I don't, but I high five and
without Trump's first term,
guy's awesome.
We've been screwed already as far as Second Amendment goes. Plain and simple.
Yep.
Because that means he wouldn't have appointed them people. Biden would have put people in there, and we saw who he puts in there. Yeah.
I mean, your story from last week is I can't believe they actually took the side of the common sense.
I couldn't believe she did either. That was
constitutional part of the.
I mean, that was 9-0. I was just shocked.
Yeah, it was good to see. I like that. I really enjoyed that.
Even a clock that don't work is right twice a day. So
Dan says he thinks Fargo has over 200 sworn.
So that's like 5%, and so when you figure out 50, that isn't bad at all, really.
Yeah. So Dougie says, it didn't come through, but he says, would the left accept a Lincoln Riley AI statement? No, they'd freaking go absolutely apeshit. If you don't know who that is, the illegals down in Georgia beat the shit out of her. She put up a hell of a fight for 15 minutes, raped her, and
that's what they do in their country, so they thought they could do it here.
Yeah. Well, that was one of them's excuse. We can do that with underage girls in my country. Oh, really? That's your excuse, huh? Yeah, bullshit. Tell the ATF if you own a machine gun that you didn't know it wasn't illegal because
that ain't gonna work. No, it's not. So
yeah,
I'll tell you what. Why don't we go into our next mag dumps? Then we'll take a break.
Yeah, let me get this one in here, Clay, and then we'll do a commercial and come back. Yeah, so mag dumps shootingillustrated.com. That's right, haters. NRA.
Yeah, that evil NRA.
The Sporting Arms and Ammunition Manufacturers Institute, otherwise known as SAAMI. Clay, everybody knows SAAMI improved this, SAAMI length and SAAMI pressure.
And been around for 99 years. It was established. Yep.
Really?
It was established in 1926, okay. So it's been around 99 years.
Wow.
100 years next year.
Hey,
so they might know a thing or two about a thing or two.
Yeah, for sure. They issued their first voluntary industry performance standard criteria for firearms sound suppressors for the use of commercial manufacturers. The detailed document took 8 years of detailed and highly technical work to complete. And I told Clay at the beginning here, this is kind of just a Cliff Notes kind of thing of it. We could probably do a whole show on it, but to me, Clay, going into all these specs would be boring. I mean, you could hit a little bit on it, but
now, hey, anyway. Who's calling me? Hey, thanks for listening.
So the voluntary industry performance standard criteria for firearm sound suppressors for the commercial manufacturer's document contains thread and socket drawings, recommendations on how to communicate intended cartridge, minimum barrel length, maximum firing cadence, and maximum rounds before requiring cooling, procedures and equipment required for suppressor sound management, measuring suppressor to bore alignment, testing for abusive mishandling, overpressure testing, and stress testing. See, you got a good guy to talk to. This would be our sponsor, Jake, there from
or
Bloodline.
David. David would be good too.
Or Alan Servin, SAAMI's Senior Director, Technical Affairs, will present the new guidelines at the PCB Conformal Ballistic Training later this month in Buffalo, New York. Let me give you guys a bit of advice. Don't do it in New York. Go to like South Dakota or something. Somebody who actually respects the second. The Conformal Buffalo, New York definitely does. That's run by leftists. The Conformal Ballistics, I like Josh Allen. The Conformal Ballistics Training is a 2-day exclusive training sponsored by PCB, Piezotronics, a leader in pressure and safety testing, and will cover, among other things, conformal ballistic testing in accordance with SAAMI standards. I'm not going to read this big number. These new SAAMI suppressor standards have been 8 years in the making and involved a great deal of research, testing, and hard work by the SAAMI team and SAAMI member companies. SAAMI, Joe Bartozzi, SAAMI president and CEO, sound suppressors have become standard equipment for many firearm owners, including me. And with more manufacturers producing these hearing protection devices to meet the consumer demand, SAAMI manufacturing standards were requested by the industry. This new standard, man, they kind of covered what I said in the beginning or what they cover, so I'm not going to do that again. But yeah, when this comes out, we get some more information on it. We'll hit it a little better. And
I'm actually really looking forward to it. And, maybe
I often wondered how much like a pressure a can could take coming out.
Well, and they mentioned, what I like is they mentioned also, what they're going to put for threading on it. Maybe make those threads more uniform. Like a lot of other things are in the shooting world. They're all uniform, so they fit everywhere. So yeah,
right. I mean, they're almost doing that with a lot of these hub mounts for direct threads. They're making them and quick QDs too. So David says SAAMI specs are underrated. More powder.
Give her more powder, more power.
I'm actually going to do. It might be on the first 701 Nation I come back on. Like recoil and magnums and if my dick's way bigger than yours because I got a 300 Win Mag and you shoot a 6.5. I'm going to do a thing on that and might do a poll and see if somebody's dick actually grew when they shot a 300 because I had a 300 Win Mag and my dick didn't get 1 inch bigger, Clay. And I had it for over a year.
I've had the 300 Win Mag.
Maybe I got bad genetics.
I got 338 Win Mag. I've got the big ones, but I still grabbed the 270.
Yeah, you rolling around like two A701 now after you shot it?
Anyway. So Doug, I told Doug, I said, yep, I'm out now. And Doug says, yep, me too. So yeah, then getting close to we're not even close to the end of the show. But anyway, yeah. So I'm looking forward to see what they come out with on that. I'd like to see some standard specs. I think it'd be kind of nice. Rate something for 10 millimeter. That's what Dougie says.
Looks something right along. So here's what it'll be, Doug. There'll be a 10 millimeter, and then the equal, and then behind that an eggplant. What's with the eggplant? I heard that too. 701. If you text, you know what an eggplant
you know what
means.
The eggplant is. Maybe they don't have the right emoji on there.
yeah. Anyway,
all right. So we'll move to Washington D.C. Now, that's not exactly the epiphany or the stalwart pro-gun place, is it? It's very actually. No. It's funny. The center of freedom, essentially.
They're being brought to heel a little bit.
They are actually one of the most communistic areas I've ever had to visit several times because.
Like 98% of DC voted for Kalon.
Well, but the stupid regs and things they got in. It's just ridiculous. Even when we went to the Air and Space Museum, couldn't even take our jackknife in there. You freaking kidding me? It's like, like I said, here you got the capital of supposedly the beacon of freedom, which is the United States. And that is the most unfreedom, right infringement place on the face of the earth, I think, as far as when it comes down to what you're guaranteed.
Not about the face of the
I'm comparing it to what you're guaranteed in the Constitution it is.
Oh, yeah.
They've spit in the face of the constitutional rights we possess just about every time you turn around in that place. That's why, yeah. Anyway, not that I might have infringed a time or two on their rules because they're stupid, but you're not even supposed to be having anything while you're walking around visiting the memorials. It's just piss off. So You know me, I follow rules so well.
What could happen there, Clay? Nothing will ever happen there.
So Trump, his task force, guess what they did? They cut the DC concealed carry permit wait from months to days. And I remember when I'd go out there, a lot of people were like, it takes forever, sometimes up to a year to get a concealed carry permit. And I'm like, well, that sucks for you. You should move to a free state.
We got to make sure you can have that thing.
Well, here's what they did. Law-abiding residents in the nation's capital are now able to obtain their concealed permit in days rather than months, following the effort led by President Donald J. Trump.
No, he's on a gun, I heard.
DC's safe and beautiful task force. The task force, which was created by Executive Order Martin. Yeah, I'm reading this. Worked with local officials. I'm sure that went well. Hey, local officials, here's what we're going to do. Implement it and we'll be good. Because that's what I would have done. To overhaul the Metropolitan Police Department's permitting process.
Eric.
Getting some water, some Colorado water.
Just cracking that open, a few more hairs grew on my chest.
Here's the disappointing part about this, and that's because he can't probably do it because they haven't completely federalized DC, which we ain't going to get in that subject tonight. But hey, leftists, it's a federal jurisdiction. DC is a 10 by 10 square mile of nothing but federal jurisdiction. Letting them have a mayor and letting them govern themselves is actually a privilege.
Bowser. Mayor Bowser.
Yeah. So I'll know.
By the way, Clay, it's a federal constitution, and the Constitution of the Bill of Rights pertains to everywhere.
Yeah,
so
this right here. And I can
right
read
there,
it all to them, and it's outlined in the article.
What do you know, JD, knuckle dragging, gun nut, you're uneducated.
Well, this is
maybe, but I'm not. I got enough education.
This
to know
outdated document, but anyway. Anyway, so no local gun laws were changed, which they have some of the toughest gun laws in the nation. But the process was simplified and expedited to remove longstanding administrative delays. What took several months now takes about 4.6 days. Firearm registration, which was that's just stupid as its own, which was previously required a 4-month wait and wait for an appointment, has now been reduced to next day scheduling and walk-in appointments available now. President Trump is not just stopping violent crime in Washington, D.C. He's also streamlining the permitting process for law-abiding residents who want the ability to protect themselves and their families, and let's not forget, and exercise their Second Amendment rights. White House spokesman Taylor Rogers said in a statement to Fox News. So now you can get appointments for firearm registration and concealed carry license. You can combine them into one rather than having two different categories. I didn't realize, when I was reading this, so I went to check it. Yeah, you should have seen what they had to do. I mean, I can see why when I'd go out there, people, it ain't worth it. We just moved and we live across the border now in Virginia or somewhere.
Yeah, they drive in. I mean, in Virginia,
they just were so frustrated with the regulations and the rules and the laws within the DC boundaries. I just said, the hell with it. They just moved outside. And it was expensive too. Despite the improvements, the district still retains some of the strictest gun laws in the country. Concealed carry license holders must reapply every 2 years. Wow. They cannot possess ammunition for an unregistered firearm. So you can't have, if you don't have your 380 registered, you can't have ammo for it. Really? Holy crap. Can't possess ammunition. They face numerous gun-free zones.
I mean, I'm sure, Clay, every gang, illegal alien, and just criminal shit stain who's lived there their whole life gives two shits about.
I'm sure they're following that, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And of course, there's lots of gun-free zones.
I got a
in
Ruger
DC.
Security 380, but there's no ammo in it because you can't have that.
You can't have that.
Unless it's registered, and I just anyway.
I mean, you think about this. We have gun-free zones even in our state called public schools, right? Government schools. Well, you got that there. You got hospitals, government buildings, stadiums, public memorials, and any location where alcohol is sold. And that ain't just the only thing. Like I said, some of the memorials, that when you're walking in the mall.
When I'm in a bar.
Yeah. You're not supposed to be carrying. I mean, it's absurd the places where you can't. Hell, they just firearms, a little pocket knife. It's crazy. The task force is also exploring potential changes, including allowing concealed carry in handbags for women, concealed carry on public transit, and reciprocity for out-of-state permits. Now, I would love to see at least that take place, but I'm sure that'll be a hard-fought battle. So he goes, for residents that value the right for self-defense, the streamlining of a concealed carry permit now represents a meaningful step forward. And I agree. It's one little step in a freaking sea of liberal ideology that's been going on for decades there. And you know what? I guess take the wins when you can get them.
Clay, if Trump was a king, like the leftists claiming, the TDS dipshits on the right, wouldn't he just say, you can do whatever you'll do whatever you want with a gun in DC, just like they do in South Dakota?
Yeah, I mean, if he was,
but he can't do that because he's not a fucking king.
That's right, and he don't think that way.
Right.
But there is, I mean, like I said, I could read the whole article as to where DC is basically it's controlled by the federal government, by Congress. Everything is dictated by Congress. They let DC, you realize DC didn't always have a mayor because it wasn't a city that needed a mayor. It was under
Democrats
the
want to make it its own state. Yeah, like
which that would take an amendment. I mean, they can't do that without they got to have a constitutional amendment to make DC an actual state.
Constitution.
Yeah.
Let's listen to what Gavin wants to do.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get to some of these comments. Eric Newman says, that's because you drink watered down beer, Jamie. I'm set and I shoot a 300 rum.
I can shoot one too. There's just no need for it, and it doesn't make me a bigger man.
It's where politicians congregate. What do you expect talking about DC? Oh, yeah. People in DC now might actually be able to defend themselves. Old Dougie said that. Lauer Auto, great sponsor. Thank you. Trump also relaxed open carry. I was just going to mention that, Leon. So, yeah, with that, and that just happened. He also relaxed open carry. I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, because I kind of heard it in a blip, shotguns and rifles. But now the question is, do AR-15s qualify because they have magazine bands?
Give Street out, or let's have to get jumpy.
U.S. attorney here's what he said. U.S. attorney won't pursue felony charges for carrying rifles and shotguns in D.C. Hey, we were just talking about you, 18 wheels. There he is. He's now
What's
back.
up, buddy?
All right.
Evening. Glad you got in.
Where are you trucking to tonight? Bureau said the blanket ban on possessing shotguns and rifles violates the Supreme Court's ruling in 2022. Remember? It struck down a New York gun law and held that Americans have a right to carry firearms in public for self-defense. I love her. That was a great appointment there. She also pointed to the High Court's 2008 decision. That was Heller in D.C. versus Heller, striking down a city's ban on handguns in the home, which was our first victory when taking on D.C. So,
yep.
Maybe Seth Rich could defend himself in D.C. Okay, I don't know who Seth Rich is.
Yeah, the Clintons had him freaking X'd
up. Oh, okay. All right, Sarah. See, I missed that one. Leon says, we homeschool, so the teacher has a gun in every room. There you go. And Eric said the same thing. He says, we homeschool and have guns in all the rooms as well.
I gotta be honest with you. Most of my wife's a teacher, and I know plenty of them down not only at her school, but other ones, and most of them own guns. And most of them are Republicans, to be honest with you. So they're probably not as pro 2A as 2A701. Some of them are, but
see, but
it's not as bad off here as you guys want it to be. But
and I'm glad they
believe it to be.
The problem is that most of people. I used to sub at school, and I quit for lots of different
up more about it. But
yeah, and they should collectively do it because they can't fire everybody. Mm-hmm. But they won't. They're so afraid of losing their job, which I don't know how they could be because they got tenure. And you know what? There's plenty of lawyers out there that will come and do it pro bono in cases like that. But tell every single teacher and every single administrator stands up together and says, no, we aren't going to teach this crap. We are going to do this. What are you going to do about it? What are they going to do? Fire everybody? It's not going to happen.
I mean, what are you going to do? Fire them for standing up for their civil right?
I mean, they can try it, but it ain't gonna work.
See you in court. I guess I'll retire early. And
I remember when your wife first met me and the things I was telling her what I was doing in this school, and she thought I was freaking nuts. And I'm still here, and I still keep winning. So, all right. Well, what we got going on here? Raising Eli in North Dakota for a reason. Second choice would have been South Dakota. There you go. Yep. And South Dakota's good too. They're going to have a battle though down here. You got Alfred E. Newman running for governor and Dusty Johnson, who's an idiot.
He is?
Yep, he's running for governor, and he's not.
I don't know. That guy running now took over for Noam. He's pretty freaking awesome, man.
Larry Roden, he's been doing pretty good.
Way better than I thought. See, I heard a bunch of shit about Roden before he took over, that he was this big rhino loser, and everything I've ever seen with the guy, he seems pretty freaking awesome.
Well, he had a record of voting. I wouldn't know if he was a rhino, but he definitely wasn't where you.
Hey, maybe a lot of people, including myself, have gotten more conservative than I was 20 years ago.
I can tell you this: Rowan's better than fucking Sean Cleary, and I'll leave it at that. We'll go to the next break.
Clay doesn't like my senator.
No, I don't. After what he. So, all right, we're going to take a break on that note, and we'll come back with the happy ending chronicle.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
All right, so we are back, and I have to answer this because they were talking here. No, Leon says it's all this is telepathically, and I said it's coming in loud and clear. But
oh yeah,
but Dougie said, "How would a teacher
strong with that, brother?"
Yes, it is. And he's got a big lightsaber. Anyway, how would the teachers union stand against teachers caring versus getting fired? That's a great question. I mean, the power is always in the numbers. And I don't know how we got to this point other than people have been ingrained in their heads that you're supposed to. I can remember even when I was in high school, Jamie. I mean, I've been graduated over 30 years. Mm-hmm. And how we were basically said, you shouldn't. I mean, we were literally told this by somebody. Don't cause waves, try to get along. Bullshit. I was never that guy, obviously. I didn't care. And luckily, I had other teachers there that thought the same way because those were Korean War and World War II vets are like, no, you need to take
Deke. I didn't see Deke was on here. I didn't know that was.
Oh, I don't know if that's Deke. Maybe he is. I think that just is an automatic thing generated with his channel because he's still hooked up to his YouTube channel.
Really?
Yeah, I think it probably.
I don't know. He says that's a great question, Doug. People forget that we do hold the power.
Yeah, but that's what they all say. See,
they do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
Leon, I've always hated Democrats. I've seen what they've done to the inner city. Yeah, that's right. Bottom line is, I don't care how pissed off you are at Trump or at the Republican Party. It's still 1,000 times better right now than any Democrat in office with power.
I mean, it's better than most Republicans.
Well, and we're seeing that in our own party and the struggle that's going on within our own party right now. Because we have a ton of Democrats that joined and become ours so they could win because they knew that was the only way to win. And that's why you're seeing that power struggle right now in the party. And I don't know how that's going to play out. I know what side I'm on, but we'll see because there is a real power struggle going on within the party. And it's not from true platform-minded Republicans. It comes from those that came into the party that really are not with us when it comes to our actual platform, our values, and our beliefs. They're Democrat rhinos or they're Democrat liberal rhinos, whatever you want to call them, and they only put an R by their name to get elected. And unfortunately, people are so stupid, they just vote for the Republican, unfortunately. They should check it out a little bit more. and see what the hell that person stands for, right? Because there are other choices sometimes. Anyway, there, I'm off my soapbox.
All right, so are we going into
Let's
Happy
do
Ending
the
Chronicle?
Happy Ending Chronicle. Before we do that, though, I want to say thank you to all our sponsors. We can't do it without you. Lauer Auto Repair has been with us since the very beginning, and we want to thank Doug and the crew down there. And, of course, thanks to our new sponsors that are coming on. Kalon's Auto Service. Of course, we got Roger and Jane over there with Horton LaserCraft, who's done
Hey, Meg, how are Meg's looking?
fantastic work. I don't know. That's my fault. I've been so damn busy. I haven't talked to him. I know he was having some issue with them. He was experimenting on one I gave him on my own. I don't think he's going to be able to put the logo on him the way it sounds. Too many grooves.
Okay, that's fine.
But he definitely can put the website on there. Yeah.
How about
anyway,
a flag of some sort?
And of course, we got Bloodline Kinetics. He's been with us a long time too. Different levels, but he's going to be opening up his suppressors, I imagine, very soon. The way it sounds. So,
and of course, his rifle,
Little Angry Man Arms, man. John down there's great. And I know he's not going to be up in Carson with us, but John will be at the gun show in Mobridge on the 13th and 14th. So you're going to want to head over to that gun show.
Bought a couple of guns from John. Smooth process, man.
Absolutely. Before I go into this Lincoln project to name one associate, goddamn grifters. You're right, Leon. He goes, Brian says, well, we finally got the power, and they are struggling. Yep. But that goes away too fast with one election if we don't pay attention. Absolutely. You're right, Brian. Yeah, we're in charge right now, but that can change in a heartbeat. We have the midterms coming up, so don't get complacent, people. We got to make sure we hold on to that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I'm actually on Michael Bell's right now. People are panicking a little too much about that right now, and we're gonna do better in the midterms than people are projecting.
I think the midterms are going to be very pleasant and very positive for us.
The left is freaking unhinged and loud AF right now.
They are. And midterms, let's face it, we're in the midterm season already. I know it seems so early, but it's not. And I'm telling you right now, I do think we're going to pick up a few seats in both the House and the Senate. I don't think we're going to have runaways, but I'm looking at who's stepping out. I mean, you got some of these guys who've been there forever. They're not going to run again. And that's going to be a great opportunity.
You guys are listening, shoot me a comment. I don't know. You were off for a while.
Oh, okay. Well, that sucks.
There.
So anyway, this was actually, I know Michael sent this to you and me, but I actually had seen it and had it picked already for tonight. So
nice.
We're all on the same page on this.
Perfect. No, he's a leftist.
Oh, yeah. Michael, we love you.
Right. Michael, if you didn't catch that, it's sarcasm, buddy.
But, and I've got two stories on it, one from, two different sources. USA Carry is where I found it originally.
Perfect.
And then Michael's actually a little more detail in it. So Joliet, which is about, I think it's about 30 miles outside of Chicago. Or no, is it 30 or is it 7? I don't remember.
I've never been to Illinois. Land of Lincoln, I ain't going.
I've been across there, 40 miles southwest of Chicago. There it is, actually in here. And, of course, Chicago is just a cesspool, and they've got really hard gun laws. Illinois has gun laws.
They're good ones, you mean?
Oh, yeah, they're perfect because they got so many murders,
Yeah.
So burglar, and this guy, I'm telling you, burglar was shot and killed by a mother protecting her baby during a home invasion. Well, this is interesting because this commie shit stain. Let's just call him what he is.
Perfect, Clay. That's
Shelby
exactly
Hurd,
what he was.
36. He died. Yeah, he assumed room temperature, and I'm glad he did. We're all better for it. He died and assumed room temperature, that scumbag, on Tuesday of August 15th. He was blasted. I like how this guy puts it. He was blasted in the head with a bullet. That's what
nice marksmanship by mom there.
Yeah, while entering an unidentified mother's home in Joliet, Illinois. Hurd was, get this, he was only freed on parole in February this year over another slew of previous burglary convictions.
A true piece of shit.
Yes, and in 2024, he pled guilty to 2 separate incidences, again burglary, that took place 10 days apart in March of 2022.
And he's out of freaking jail, Clay, because of a judge freaking a Democrat appointed.
And they gave him 170 days credit for time served.
Oh,
that's why he only
nice.
So he got convicted and he was sentenced to 4 years. But yet and this was in 2024 that he got convicted and sentenced. But yet he's out in early 2025 on the streets again, just being a scumbag piece of crap. He spent previous stints behind bars over 2019 charges for a vehicle burglary, possession of a stolen vehicle, and being a felon already in possession of a weapon. So, them gun laws are working pretty good. I mean, this is a model citizen who's misunderstood. Yeah.
So, now, Clay, is that the kind of judge that Trump would appoint there, you think, that would let?
I bet not. I bet not.
Who gives a shit? I didn't see the list.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I didn't see it either on that one, but imagine, I guarantee you that Trump wouldn't have put
the list that doesn't
person.
Exist, and if it did, it was already cleaned up and wiped like Hillary said. Like, that's what Biden did to it. So get off the fucking list, shit.
You know what? The Epstein thing, he's dead. He's assumed room temperature too, and to me,
There's
it's
nothing
over.
there anymore, man. It's been cleaned.
Yes, them people when they left, they cleaned it all. So this guy, this scumbag, speaking of scumbags, another one here. His Facebook profile contained numerous disturbing posts. He said, I sacrificed my peace and sleep, when he was released from prison. I did some shit that you couldn't imagine, was one of his quotes.
I'm sure it was done to you too in prison.
Yeah, I bet it was. Dude. He made the comment, I'm from the streets, better look both ways before you cross me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his final,
I guess Mama did.
Yeah, his final act of crime and being a scumbag and a piece of shit ended when he broke into this woman's house on Tuesday, August 12th at 10:30 p.m. I want to make sure we get that right. That he was shot in the head by her. He's wearing gloves and carrying a screwdriver. She realized that the house was being broken into. This kind of goes back to what we always talk about, situational awareness, right? Be aware of your situation and your surroundings. Mm-hmm. And that'll help you a lot. It goes a long ways. So she took her infant and put it in the closet and then tried to keep both of them safe. Well, he burst into that room too, and that's when she grabbed her trust out. I don't know what it was.
They never did say, did they?
No, and I couldn't find out what she was using, but she definitely took her trusty freedom rod and she liberated this scumbag, ventilated his head, and he assumed room temperature. By the time the cops got there, they had confirmed that he had been, dead at the scene.
Love it.
She's cooperating with them. Now, Illinois does not have a stand your ground like we do, but there are exceptions. So when I went and looked at their law, they do actually have an exception. And this one actually is kind of the definition of it. Breaking into a home, private home, you do have the right to protect yourself if you fear that you are in danger. And that ain't how it's worded, but that's the gist of it. And it was a home invasion on top of it, which even gave it even more credibility. So I doubt she's going to be charged. This gal's a hero. She's protected herself. She used her Second Amendment rights that God has given her. She ventilated a scumbag, and we have another happy ending chronicle.
And not only that, Clay, you're forgetting one thing. She did the United States of America a favor.
She absolutely did. There you go.
All right, I'm going to get to it. Awesome. That was awesome, and I love that one. Let me get some of these comments here. Maybe Mike can come to 2A Day. Hey, maybe he can.
Hey.
I'd love to have him stop by there.
Yes.
Mike can talk. Yeah, I heard him talking some 2A the other day there again. It was pretty good. But Brian Warner says that's where Jake Blues was in the joint.
Joliet
Blues Brothers.
That's right. Mission from God.
2A701. Me and Eli will be up that way to shoot some ditch chickens with you boys. Looking forward to that. Yeah, I talked to him. I said,
come on up.
Because he said, he's like, what I want to do is just get all primitive and sleep in a tent and all in the open. And I said, man, I got a hell of a deal for you in October.
Yes. Come up
get
in
up
October.
There, bring the shotgun and your rifles, whatever you want to do. You guys can shoot some pheasants and anything else we got up there, and we'll get the fire going and sit there. It's going to be a great time. So,
we got Jamie's got everything up there. You got deer, pheasants, illegals. We can take them all out.
We haven't seen any illegals. If that's the case, I'm pretty sure my dad would have.
We probably have to go a little farther west towards the patch, I suppose. Then we might find.
Yeah, wow, yeah, and Killdeer, that's 52 miles to the west, I think. But
so situated
2A71 says situational awareness.
Absolutely, be aware. So, all right, with that, so like I said, we got a gun show coming up. Let's just do these quick announcements here because gun show coming up, and if I got to get a banner over to him. Gene said he's going to go ahead and put a banner up there and give us a little promotion. September 13th to the 14th over there at the Share Howe Event Center, downtown Mole Bridge on Main Street. You can't miss it, guys. It's the only big building down there that looks like it should have a gun show in
So,
it.
Clay, is that the one when I told you the first NRA banquet? I think I've asked you, is that the first NRA banquet I was at when I told you I was in Mulbridge?
No, because we didn't do it down there. It was the second or third banquet. The first one was at the Moose Club. That's a pretty good sized facility out there.
I feel like it was right by the river there.
Yes, it was right by the river.
Okay.
Yep. And that's a pretty good sized place.
Yeah, I think we come over the bridge and hung a right. And...
Yeah, it was a fun place to do it too. And we started filling it, and then we had a whole new idea.
Fun to do it in a lot of places.
Yeah. If you want to go to the gun show new info, you can hit Dakota Territory Gun Collectors Association's website or get a hold of Gene Cox, 605-848-2427. Again, 605-848-2427. And of course, I got to pump ours, right?
Absolutely.
We got our annual meeting coming up here for the Grant Sioux County Farm Bureau, September 13th. Yes, I know it's during the gun show, but you know what? Go to the gun show in the morning and then come on up for some mounted cowboy shooting, guys. And it's a jackpot. It's a competition. D&T Catering is making a great pulled pork meal for us again, and that's free to everybody. We got some axe throwing going on. Everything kicks off at 3:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to be even a resident in North Dakota. Anybody is welcome. If you are in the Grant Sioux County area, though, we'd love to have you join. There are some awesome benefits to North Dakota Farm Bureau. I knew nothing of this till I got involved. So we do encourage you to come. And if you want, we'll be able to sign you up as membership as well. Cool thing is after the mounted shooting competition, we're going to do a quick draw, and anybody can do that. It's $10. We split the pot. Here's what's happening. You get 50% of the pot, and then we got to keep the 50% to pay for the ammo, because I can tell you right now, I thought I had one sitting.
I should have sent you a video, or I could have loaded it myself. I forgot. Wayne Moose sent me a video. He was running the course there doing it. It looked pretty awesome.
I got the videos. I just didn't put them up, but yeah, this is what we use. And they're not cheap. It's just black powder, but it's kind of a specialty thing. And
not as cheap as God's cartridge, and you get
not
the
probably as cheap as God's cartridge. No,
but you can launch the soft. Or wow, we did. Remember the old video we had? That's what I shot the Coors Light can at the Dougie's Target with out of his can. Freedom Rod. No. Yeah, I have never seen a midget in Mercer County in my life, nor have I ever heard of one being there.
Gotta go to McLaughlin, right?
Is that where they're at? Okay.
I don't know. That's what their basketball, their sports teams are called. McLaughlin midgets.
Okay.
Anyway, like I said, we got some great things coming up, and there's another one coming up. It's the last one of the year. This is in Lemmon, the Dragon Main event. That's Saturday, August 23rd. So that's coming up this weekend. 6 p.m. it kicks off. It's the last one of the year. KBJM, if you want to text them or call them, they'll take your song requests. And it is kind of cool. You can tune into them at 1400 a.m. because they'll take your requests, and they were doing that. And I can tell you the pit stop there.
They should play somebody's live stream on their podcast.
Yeah, no kidding.
Anyway, I didn't mean to steal it.
But the pit stop up there, which is on the other end, be on the south end of Maine, they actually set up, and you can drive up with your cool car and get a hot dog or brat or hamburger, some pot. I mean, it's just kind of.
What do you like better, Clay? Hot dogs or brats? I like brats on the grill. I do too. Yep. So cheddar brats or just a straight brat?
I like the cheddar ones, but I'll eat them either way. But I don't like the crappy ones, the cheap one. I like to buy ones that you get at butcher shops or have someone make for me.
So you don't like Johnsonville's?
They're okay. If I buy some, those are the ones I go for because they seem like
Cloverdale ones. And man, I like Johnsonville too, but I bought the Cloverdale ones that one time we did Bill Beard's roping arena. We had the food. Yeah, those were freaking pretty good too.
And I've used those Polish sausage and Bar S ones. They're cheaper.
When you're Polish sausage is okay, but
yeah, I just
287 says Costco dogs, brother. Never had them.
Never had them because Costco's commier than freaking Sam's Club, so I don't even have a membership.
Sam's at least doesn't ban concealed.
Yeah, Costco completely Democrat donations. And basically, Sam's Club is 50-50 both ways. So, yeah.
I mean, I'll take that over.
All right. Hey, give me a call, Liam. You'll have to do it later in the afternoon. I'll be out bringing in yearlings and then traveling back here sometime, I imagine, around 10, 11 o'clock. back to the house because you can't move yearlings or anything you shouldn't in 90+ degree heat. So
Is it
yeah,
90 tomorrow again? I thought it was
down
supposed
here
to
it
be
is.
like a complete swing. Oh, okay.
Down here it will be. So. But anyway, that's the big announcements. I encourage everybody to go
here.
check out these local things because it's a lot of fun. I don't know if Mandan, I think they're doing their last cruise night in September too. But
yeah, we never did make it over to one of those.
Well, I'm planning to now, being it's September. I should be able to make that one, I hope. Hawaiian brats from BB and Mandan are delicious. Okay. I imagine they got pineapple in them, so I imagine I won't like them.
Is there a big war, but like pineapple on pizza, but is there a war like pineapple and brats between people, big brat fans?
Pineapple shouldn't be anywhere near meat.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't order one, but I'd definitely eat it.
18 wheels. Did you guys see the article that Smithfield meats is 75%?
Yeah, I did hear that a while ago.
Actually, I knew that because they got a big plant in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. That's not that far from me. And we knew about that quite a few years ago. That actually happened before 2020. And that's horrible that they even have that because that's one of the biggest pork processors in the United States. It's horrible. Cool Deadwood Nights this weekend. Oh, I wish I could do it, Doug. I really do. But I can't. Like I said, I'm going to be.
What's that all about?
Oh, they got a lot of cool things going on down in Deadwood. Music. I think the people bring their old cars or the classics and just have a good time. There's a lot of activities. Doug could probably tell us more about. I think they got it on their website too. So I bet if you just search.
Is there a public gun range anywhere near Deadwood?
Used to be. I don't know if there still is or not, tell you the truth. But there used to be one kind of up there tucked in the hills.
Love pineapples. Nothing better on pork.
I like pineapple. I just don't want it in my meat.
I love freaking ham with pork on. My sister-in-law makes it for Thanksgiving or Christmas whenever we get together, and that is freaking awesome.
David, you're losing your mind. Pineapple's delicious on everything. There's only one place I might try pineapple, but I'm going to talk about it other than just by itself. So anyway, with that, hey everybody, thanks for tuning. You got anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, I do. Don't forget this Friday, 8:15, Mitchell in the morning, KFYR 550, 99.7 FM, or the iHeart app, which I recommend. I will be filling in for Clay on there and Todd Mitchell in the morning. Going to be a good show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course. You're just saying that because you're on there, maybe. Tune in to find out.
Okay, there you go.
You might tune in and it sucks. We'll see.
Dougie says a couple hundred old cars, Rat Rod show Saturday at the Boar's Nest. Oh, man, that would have been a good one. Yeah.
Boar's Nest?
Yeah. It's
Boss Hog going to be there?
Probably not unless I'm dressed
Daisy serving drinks?
Well, now that'd be worth it, wouldn't it? Main Street Deadwood every afternoon has a shooting. They do. They absolutely do. A couple times, I think.
The old 10?
They do one outside of 10. They do one, I think, up by the theater. They do 2 or 3 of them a day. Luke says, I believe there is still a public range just east of Lead. Found it by accident on the side-by-side. There we go.
Okay,
yeah.
Sweet.
And that's the one I was thinking of too, Luke. I just wasn't sure if it was still there.
How's Luke's hoodie coming along, by the way?
Actually, it's sitting here now. We have to put the deal on it. I didn't have a large, so I had to get one. I'm looking at it right over here.
Get that shillelagh out on them. On your Chinese labor force there.
I know. I got to get the sweatshop fired up down here.
That's what I was looking for.
So, alrighty, guys. With that, appreciate everyone tuning in, and we can't do it without you. We had good numbers tonight. We didn't quite hit 100 between everything, but
one of the better nights we've had in a while. Appreciate everybody tuning in, man.
Again, tune in on Friday.
Hit the like button on whatever platform you're listening on.
Absolutely. You'll see Jamie's big head there. No, anyway. Anyway, Jamie will be on Friday. You don't want to forget to tune in there on Friday at KFYR. And then we'll be back here on Wednesday night. Everybody keep your powder dry, and we'll catch everybody next week.